I was saying that era was kind of like what I was doing too. It was just like I was watching Sailor Moon, and I had to watch Dragon Ball Z before Sailor Moon, I guess, because I was
Yeah,
first.
it was more popular. I think
Yeah, it came out
Digimon.
first on that run, and then I was just watching them both for the
Yeah.
most part until Toonami really solidified their segment towards the middle of the day. And then once they did that, then I was really watching. I was watching everything. I was watching some shit.
You were like
It was watching. I was watching fucking Tenchi Muyo. I was watching. Yeah, like I was watching. Did Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z? They was riding that shit really hard.
They were, and I mean it makes sense. They're both very approachable, enjoyable series. Like I can't.
For sure. That was literally the only thing I was watching, and then Pokemon came out, and then that's when I was like,
okay, which is weird that everybody decided to collectively be on that, and I'm like, but Megabots exist and Digimon.
Digimon was cool too. I was gonna say, wait, Digimon was cool too. I liked both Digimon and Pokemon, if you're gonna be real. But
Digimon's a better story.
Hard on Digimon until they could actually turn into the Digimon themselves.
Frontier, that was my shit.
Yeah. That season, okay, y'all got me.
Yo, y'all had me. And I attribute that, right, because the poor black experience, right, is that like sometimes you had cable and sometimes
yes, he didn't. Yeah.
If you had cable, right, you only had access to probably like 3 or 4 channels, and at least one of them, right, because a lot of times WB, Fox, for Texas Central regions, right, we had WB and Fox. Those things were free, which meant that Saturday morning cartoons were wide open. There were tons of like Digimon and Fighting Foodons, One Piece when it was on 4Kids. Yeah, access immediately whether you had cable or not.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was a big thing for a lot of people with their anime experience was like, what region were you in? Like what TV shows? Like
Absolutely.
Like, that midday run, like that after school run of TV, or that Saturday. Yeah, like that kind of thing formulated, or like I was recently talking about how like I'm making a video about like how curation plays like a big part in that. Is like how they like kind of like, oh well, let's set this right after this, like we play Dragon Ball Z, and then immediately after there's Sailor Moon, and then after that,
right, that's how they reeled me in.
They reel you in because that's that was the big thing for us. Like TV was the parent for a lot of people. Like
absolutely.
Yeah, like you grew up with parents that had to work. Like motherfuckers get out and do it. So like whether they were working nights or early mornings, things like that, you had to.
Yeah, they weren't around during the afternoon at the end of the day.
I'm gonna let Digimon raise me for a quick second, real quick.
You let emotional stability. Like this is where you learn like a lot of your shit just straight up from TV and experiences and shit. So I was always very into like the daytime run of like anime and TV and shit. That was kind of like a huge thing for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yo, bro, did you ever get like? Of course, you got othered, right? But do you have any experiences that like stick out in your brain?
Nigga, we grew up together.
I'm saying like we had.
I will say that like yeah, of course I got othered in that respect. I think that everybody was into the same shit up until a point. Like after a certain point, it was like all right, I'm gonna move on to do this or whatever. And as a male, the other thing is like sports or like athletics or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And
we're selling drugs.
Or selling drugs. Or you can do both. A lot of my favorite drug dealers are anime fans.
That too. I mean, it's called duality.
Right. But I think that at like, especially in the early 2000s, I don't think like being able to be into multiple things at once became like popular until like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of us dealt with that othering situation for so long. Like it continued into a good chunk of our adult lives.
Adulthood. Yeah. That's why like sometimes when I see the memes where they're like, it's not because you liked anime, it's because you growled and Naruto run and I'm like, but sometimes it wasn't that. Like people would legit bother you just for like wearing, if you had the capability of getting like anime merch, they would give you that. And it's like, what the fuck?
In my personal opinion, I don't think any girl that I've ever dealt with, like in it, like not girl, but whatever, any person that I've like dealt with in a serious capacity did not give a fuck that I was in an anime, but they were more so worried that I had like poor hygiene. And like once they realized like, oh, I'm fine, you know, I learned how to deal with my shit. Cause like there's certain stigmas that are attached to certain entertainment. And you know.
Yeah, no, I get
the metal community and the weed community share the
oh, for sure,
the crusty vibe.